Hi everyone, I'm paying tribute to the death of my brother, Richard Sanders, nicknamed himself Sid, because he was obsessed with the Sex Pistols. That something to do with Sid Vicious. Well, Sid Vicious, he died young and all. He died at the age of 21 and a half. He was full on drugs. Well, because Sid Vicious's mum used to live down Maple Road. In the area he used to live, the London Bar Bomb, he used to live in a place called Pedge. It's in between Crystal Palace and Beckham. I went to my brother's funeral at the Beckham Crematorium on the 26th of June. Here's the picture of him. Yes, you could see born in 1960, 3rd of September 1968, and died on the 14th of May of this year. The last time I saw him was on St George's Day this year, in pub in Brixton with my mum. Well, none of us talking about 1977 when I got on that silver bus with him and the Darlington buses on the way to Chelsea Adventure Playground in in the Jubilee year of 1977 was obviously the biggest Jubilee year celebration of my lifetime. Well, because during his teens, he said that was his favourite year of all time, 1977. I remember he was talking in the living room with his mate Gary Smith, simply nicknamed as Onion, in the living room. He said, wish they were still in 1977, but the same age. Well, because punk came out the year before, 1976, but it got so popular the following year. I remember between the late 1970s and the early 1980s, you used to have a lot of punks lurking down the King's Road, I remember. Well, I lived near the King's Road in 2 years, from 1977 to 1979. First, I lived in a place called Eaton Place, then I lived in a place called Walpole Street. Yeah, yes, the places are very close to King's Road. And also, my mum's godmother, who died in 1991, called Sophie. She used to call her both because she didn't know how to say Sophie properly or something like that. My mum did. Yes, she used to say to my brother, "Well, the punk's gone," when they didn't have punks anymore. Well, I am going back to the crematorium on the 3rd of September, which was my brother's birthday. And some of the guests who were at that funeral will be there and all. And some of the guests who travelled with me, which were my housemate David Thompson, Nicholas Jones, and my friends who live in Great Yarmouth, Richard and Patrick, and my mum will all be there. And then we're going to go to Crystal Palace Park and stand by where his favourite tree is. Things like that. Well, a lot of his friends passed away. Gary Smith, I mentioned, known Onion. Billy Smith, he was one of his best friends. He was a school friend of his. Gary Ayling, Cole Thatcher, Raymond Thatcher, and Leo Drought. I don't know about Terry Clapp. I think he passed away. Yeah, things like that. Well, because I'm going to really miss him. So most of his friends will. Well, he did get to up to dangerous things in his team, such as glue sniffing and gas sniffing. Well, and also, so he used to. I know he drank too much at times and things look like that. Whatever. Yes. Well, because I remember when I first discovered him glue sniffing. Well, I was 10 and a half, as he was 12 and a half. That's when he came back from the swimming pool at Elephant Castle with his friend Billy Smith and Paul McCarthy, as two school friends of his. Well, Paul McCarthy was the sensible one. He didn't do any glue sniffing, but Billy and Richard were doing it. But he actually told me the dangers of glue sniffing, what it could do to you. And I'm proud he told me that. Do you know, he was actually helping me out. I've never done it in my life. I kept away from it all my life, thanks to him. Yes, he also did some gas sniffing as well, because he just mixed with people that didn't know good or things like that. Because during the year 1981, we watched this program about glue sniffing. That was in some meeting we had. Both parents and pupils were welcome. So the deputy head, Mrs. Paulson, kicked off the show and said, "We're going to have to learn to sniff glue for a joke or something like that." Yeah, yes, 1981. And at Adventure Playground we used to go to, up Chelsea Adventure Playground. I used to go and day at schools as the specialist school went to, like, it was Ebury Bridge or Jubilee School we moved into in 1977. we weren't emerging as other schools like when St Nick's closed down in West Wickham and the Borough. It's because Ebury Bridge weren't much of a proper school building. That's why. Yeah. A Chelsea Venture Playground sadly closed down around about late summer of 1982. Used to enjoy going there. We used to go there for these holidays, where it's Easter holidays or all the summer holidays, or probably some Christmas. And I used to go to bonfire night displays there. Things like that. Yeah. For and just to let you know, before we finish, I'm going to be at the crematorium again on the 3rd day of September. His mum, Nick Jones, and David Thompson, and Richard and Patrick, and who's a friends from Great Yarmouth. And most of the guests will be there, like Jeremy Cliff or Layla or Steph and Scott. And we'll see you there on the 3rd of September. But my next musical video, I'll let you know, will be on Halloween Singing Spooks Closet. Anyone's been watching, thanks for watching. And I'll let everyone know when I do videos then. Bye.